Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to more minor league esports action. Once again, for the third time in a row, my name is an Oddfellow. This time, however, I am joined by Flyfire. How you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. First time on stream. I'm really excited. Hoping we get some good matches tonight. And speaking of, next up, we got an ML doubles matchup with the Bears going up against the Bulls. Tale of two teams with pretty middling seasons so far, both looking to get on to the front foot, so to speak, moving into these out-of-division matchups.
Yeah, and as someone who was on the AL Bears for a good part of last season, I am very familiar with this ML squad. Zulu, Worry, Judgmental, Akalia, YZ, all great guys. The lineup that they're running tonight is going to be Zulu and Worried, I think. No, sorry, Zulu and Judgmental. That's who it was. I'm already stupid. Yeah, so Zulu and Judgmental. Judgmental having gone 6-4 so far this season. Zulu having gone 2-3 the last time that he played. So fairly average for both of them. Judgmental being a 16-5, Zulu running a 17. On the other side of the pitch, we are going to have, I forget who I saw in there for the Bulls. Remind me, who did we just see in there for the Bulls?
It would be Rage and looking for that second name.
YT.
Yeah,
there we go.
YT Storm. There we go.
So it's Rage and YT. Oh, so this is interesting. So Rage is a 17. YT is actually a 15-5. Rage having gone 5-0 in his last series played. YT having gone 0-5. So this definitely, on paper, looks like it should be a very, very even matchup between both these teams.
And 1-1. So going into game one, kicking it off, we'll have to see just how important this is and how important that momentum is in this series as the Bulls take advantage early on.
And for those of you who have been watching for most of the evening, this is Master League, so this is the second highest league in MLE. So this should be some very, very interesting matchups and interesting amount of skill here. I should also point out, as I forgot to do a second ago, that MLE is brought to you by APM Music, your way. Got to remember to throw that in there because I forgot to mention we came in here as Judgmental, almost getting the double tap off the sidewall.
Almost found it, but now Storm going to try and bring it back down the other end. He gets over one. Maybe looking for the bump, but he decides to peel off and go get some boost instead. Restocked, trying to get back on the offense. Pass back to Storm. He'll just boom it in and try and chase it down. Does get a decent 50 out of it. Zulu's low on boost. But there's no capitalization from the Bulls just yet. They get the demo to keep up the pressure. Rage is going to move in. Zulu misses the ball. Great touches from the Bulls. Rage almost finds it, and Storm finishes it off. 1-0 to the Bulls.
And this was a fantastic play by Rage. Beautiful cut around Zulu, and then fantastic job just lifting it up over the top of Judgmental, and then Storm having just enough speed in the tank to be able to get up there and smack it down into the back of the net. That is going to be the biggest thing here in Master League, is going to be speed on rotations and speed on challenges, because everybody in this league is going to be mechanical. They're going to be very solid in their rotations, so it's going to be who can challenge and who can rotate faster. And right now, that's looking like the Bulls.
Storm using that speed, going down the sidewall, beats one on the initial touch, and then gets up to it quicker than Zulu could, and gains that second goal advantage for the Bulls. They're looking solid, more than a minute in.
We're going to see Storm and Judgmental going on the kickoff here. Judgmental launching it back over towards Rage. He's going to go up with a touch here, trying to get it past Zulu. Does, but Judgmental is right there on defense to be able to steal that one off the goal line. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to play in this game. Bears have yet to put a point on the board. Going to be Zulu launching that one over the top. Storm trying to collect this one. Does get bumped off. Zulu going to the air. Off the backboard. Looking for the double angle. And it does not go in. Does get turned away by Rage.
So close for Zulu there, but Judgmental is going to try and keep the offense up. He wasn't expecting that miss, and now going back the other way, they got to hustle back. Both players low on boost for the Bears. Zulu fills back up, but he misses his touch. Judgmental is up, gets a bit of a save, and sitting on the goal line. Rage fakes out one, looking for the second, but the 50 goes the other way. The Bears avert disaster.
Oh my goodness, that definitely should have been a goal for the Bulls there, but the Bears getting a little bit lucky there. Good defense, but also some good bounces off the crossbar. Zulu puts a shot on. Rage turning it away at the last second. So the Bears are getting some good long distance shots, but they have yet to convert something from inside the box. Now Zulu playing this one into the corner. Gets a nice 50 with Rage to keep it on the Bulls side of the pitch. Storm going up early. Gets it up. Judgmental opting to leave that one for Zulu to play off the back wall. Zulu again off the back wall. Launches it towards the side. Bounces in front of Rage and turned away by Judgmental. Storm getting demoed for his trouble, but I do believe he ends up taking that boost, so that's going to leave Judgmental a little bit low. Zulu looking for some bumps here, but not able to get it. Great defense coming in from the Bears so far, Fly. And right now, it's looking like the Bulls are pretty well in control of this game.
They are, and you mentioned early on there that the Bears' only opportunities for breakouts have been those long clears, and that's due to the fact that early on in this game, the Bulls have been bumping and demoing back into their own zone beautifully. They haven't given a chance for those solo plays to develop on the ground, and it's forced the Bears to significantly lower their expectations for a clear. Good example of that by Zulu going back the other way, looking for the 50 again. They'll pinch it towards middle as the Bears try and break out.
One of the biggest things once you get up to Master League is communication. Because the pace of play is so much higher up in this level, your communication has to be on point, so you know not just where your opponents are, but where your teammate is as well. So you know what touches you can make, what risks you can take based on the position of your teammate. Like if your teammate's positioned a little bit further back, yeah, sure, go ahead and take that challenge because you know that your teammate's going to be back to be able to take it if it goes over the top of you. Now, if your teammate's right behind you, taking that challenge may not be as good as Rage tries to squeeze that one in, but just not able to get the angle. Zero boost to his name now as Judgmental takes it off the sidewall. Looking to follow in the air, looking for the last touch, but not quite able to get it as Storm turns it away. Storm not able to get the follow-on touch. Zero boost to his name now. Rage and Zulu kind of colliding with each other midfield. Not really resulting in any ball movement there on either side. Judgmental putting one on, but does get turned away again. So the Bulls racing to maintain hold of this lead with 25 seconds left. Fly, it is looking dangerous for the Bears here in game one.
You can see the Bears getting desperate on offense. They almost overcommitted there, but they're going to have to do that if they want to have a chance at winning this game. The demo comes through. They're going to try and take it. Rage and Storm going the other way now, a chance to finish it off. 50 doesn't go their way, but it's time ticking off that clock that matters the most, and it will be the Bulls taking game one. Judgmental looking to get the final one on the board, but he cannot, and a 2-0 shutout for the Bulls, an excellent showing.
Yeah, this is exactly how the Bulls needed to come out in this matchup, needed to come out early and just dominate here. That was a fantastic job by them to be able to take the lead and hold on to it. Now, the Bears had opportunities. They were there. They just weren't quite able to capitalize on it. A lot of it looked like kind of what we were saying. The physicality of the Bulls was just kind of throwing the rotations of the Bears out of whack. And that's exactly what you need to do in twos. So what the Bears have to do here is think, okay, how can we start to change up the way that we're positioning and rotating to be able to avoid these demos and avoid this physicality? And how can we start maybe getting some more passing plays in with each other? Leach and I were talking last series that in twos, especially in the higher levels, you don't really see a lot of passing plays going just because of everyone kind of knows where those lanes are going to be. But because of that, when you do get a good passing play going in twos, it can be critical. And so I think that's something the Bears have to start looking for here.
Yeah, they got spread out a bit. I know a couple times we saw Zulu and Judgmental just sort of side by side, not really sure who was going for it. And it really harmed their breakout attempts. And going into the second game, they got to try and fix that. They got to try and find those passing angles, those passing lanes. Hopefully they can fix that, give us a good series, because right now, if the Bulls keep this up, they're looking solid.
Well, I'm going to keep harping on it for the Bears until I see improvement with it. It's communication, right? It looks like there's at some points during the game, it's not all the time, but it's like at certain points, there's little breakdowns in communication that lead to those double commits and just a little bit of out of position as Storm tries to put that one over the top, but Judgmental is there to make the save. We're going to see Rage firing this one towards the center of the field. Zulu's there to put the shot on. Off the crossbar it goes. Rage there to turn Judgmental's follow-on away, and those are the kind of shots that the Bears have got to put on target.
Absolutely. They got to find a way to score those. The missed touch from Rage on the sidewall, giving them their best opportunity of the entire series so far. Another demo coming out from Rage. Storm is back to receive. He chips it over one. Rage will leave it for him. He's got a solo play over the top. One off the crossbar. Rage trying and finally takes a shot. Good hesitation there to put the Bulls back up 1-0.
And this was a fantastic play from Rage. Like you said, good hesitation, slowed down just enough to get Judgmental kind of thinking about, oh, is he actually going to take the shot? Is he not? And by the time he saw it was coming, it was too late for him to react to it. So fantastic offensive push there from the Bulls. Storm initially getting the pressure, and then Rage there with the cleanup. It's those tight offensive rotations that are risky to do in twos, but right now it's paying off for the Bulls until the Bears can get some better, on-target clears or be able to take advantage of the fact that the Bulls are playing up so far on offense.
Speaking of, they do have some offensive pressure now, but can they find this goal? The ball comes through and Judgmental finishes it off. Both Bulls stuck on the goal line, and the Bears take advantage.
And this is a fantastic bump coming out of Zulu here, just clears out the second defender. Storm kind of had a chance there, but just not fast enough, and so Judgmental basically had an open net there to slap that one in. And so tying the game up here with 3 minutes and 50 seconds still left to play in this game. Bears putting themselves right back into it. Again, this is just game 2 of a full 5-game series, so lots more Rocket League left to play here, and the Bears definitely don't look like they're beating themselves up too much over that game 1 loss.
Absolutely not. That one goes off the crossbar. Rage, can he get around it? He can! What an angle from Rage! Puts the Bulls back on top.
I need a picture of Rage's monitor right now. This man has got to have a protractor like duct taped to his screen or something. That was such a phenomenal angle coming out of Rage there. That's the kind of putback that you need to have in twos, so that like when you go up that far and you miss a challenge or something, when you're able to still turn around and get a crazy angle like that, it's so critical, because since you don't have that third person, when you're able to be kind of a one-man offense and allow your teammate to rotate back, it is so important, especially at this level. So great job from Rage to be able to keep the offense going himself there. He has another chance here in the corner. Storm now coming up into the corner, gets the bump onto Zulu, looking for the follow. He tried to get the dunk, but Rage is there. Again, fantastic solo performance there from Storm to be able to open it up for his teammate.
Good bump, throwing Zulu completely off balance, and they just could not recover from that. And the Bulls, we keep saying it, the physicality, the bumps, the demos constantly coming out. The Bears are never safe on defense, even in their own net or around the crease. They can't find any space to work with. And now Rage, what a dunk!
I don't know what even to say here. This is just such a phenomenal play from Rage. Beautiful air dribble, and then fantastic placement of the ball, dropping it low on the defender so that it had to come back down to him, and then beautiful positioning to be able to just slap it back home. You're not going to see a better play than that. What a great shot there from Rage.
And now the Bulls in complete control here in game 2. More than half the game left, but the Bears, you have to think they got to find an answer. They got to get that good mental back up and running. But another demo coming through. Judgmental trying to answer back, but he stalled out in the corner. Rage gonna carry it out. Bump coming through, but it's detrimental to the Bears. 1v1 now. Rage slowing down almost to a standstill, letting Storm take over. And Zulu's gonna try and get the clear, and eventually does. Bit of chaos on the offensive end for the Bulls, but eventually the Bears get out of it.
And that was a great defensive stand there from Judgmental. He basically had to 1v1 Rage there with 0 boost in his tank that entire time, and did a fantastic job with all of his 50s, great positioning, all that kind of good stuff that you need to look for. 2 minutes left on the clock here. Plenty of time for the Bears to still make something happen, but Fly, they're going to have to make something happen quick.
Absolutely. Storm's going to chip it towards the middle, and this is the last place you want to be if you are the Bears right now. You need to be in the offensive end. Zulu, will he take the 50? He's indecisive, and it costs them valuable space on the pitch.
Oh my.
The miss comes out. Rage, can he do it by himself? He can't find the dunk once more. And Judgmental will clear it out to midfield. Good 50 there by Rage to keep the space. Gets another one and pushes it further into the zone. Rage, a one-man wrecking crew right now on the ball. No one can stop him. He's throwing the Bears off kilter constantly, every single time he is in the zone.
Yeah, and that's why in twos having such a good individual player like Rage is so important, because then that leaves Storm time to be able to just kind of sit back and observe, see what's going on, and make plays as he needs to. But it really helps if you have a player like Rage who can kind of almost play close to 1v2 as he kind of was for most of that last offensive push, because it just gives you so much more room to work with when you have someone who's just winning all these 50s like that. And we're going to see Storm playing this one out of the corner, has a chance for a pass here to Rage, finds him, tries to put the shot on, not enough power on that. Judgmental able to turn it away. So that's the first kind of midfield pass that we've really seen, and it had a chance to work, just not enough power behind the shot.
I really love that play by Storm, though. He realizes they're ahead. The last thing he needs to do there is commit and go for that 5th goal. He just backs off, lets the Bears have a bit of space, and they can reset and get the 2v2 defense. And it works out as they've wasted valuable seconds off the clock. And with 15 seconds left, you got to think it's looking rough for the Bears now. Good chance there, though. Almost getting the demo onto Storm, but they're going to carry it out. And with 5 seconds left, that's just about gonna do it. Judgmental will go up, but he doesn't have that much boost to do much of anything. Good flip reset, though. Great opportunity at the end, but doesn't result in a goal, and the Bears take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and I mean, there's not really much to say here other than just the fact that the Bears are just playing faster. Like, that's just what it looks like. They're faster to the challenges. They're faster on their rotations. They're just faster overall. Like, they started kind of slowing things down and starting to put some passing plays together there at the end there, which was cool, but that just goes to show how much slower the Bears are right now. And I think, again, it's the small mid-game communication. It just looks like there's something off, right? Like, we're just seeing so many double commits, so many just barely out of positions that I don't know, like, if there's some sort of disconnect or something, but, you know, the Bears have got to start being a little bit quicker with every aspect of the game, the challenges, the shots, everything, and the communication has got to be more on point.
Absolutely. It feels like once the ball gets within 20 feet of their own net, the communication sort of shuts down a bit. They're not talking as much as maybe they should be, and it's leaving opportunities for Rage and Storm to capitalize, which we saw extensively with a couple of goals just being chaos in front of the net. There's not much the Bears can do about it when it happens. It's all about preventing it before it does. Getting your 50s and keeping up those comms, and heading into game 3 again, the focus for the Bears has to be communication. It has to be teamwork.
And they can't panic, because that's what a lot of the issue that they're running into is they're panicking just a little. Judgmental getting robbed by the bottom left corner there. He is going to want that one back.
Oh no, speaking of, what a flick by Rage indeed. He almost found the net, but it almost set Storm up as well. He isn't able to find anything past Judgmental. Rage has some room, didn't go in for the second 50, deciding to leave it there. Where's Storm? Will he push up? He gave him a bit of room. Both teams with a lot of respect towards each other right now. Both Bears players up on the backboard. It has to be a good clear, and they don't really get it. Rage is in. He tries to fake the pass, but Judgmental doesn't fall for it. It goes back into the Bulls' end.
And Judgmental's been having, I feel like every time it switches back over to Judgmental, I see him with 0 boost. He's had such an issue finding boost here in the first 60 seconds of this game. That seemed like why the Bulls gave them so much space in that first push, was because I don't think they realized that he was on 0 as Rage tries to get the hook shot there, but Zulu saving it away. Now Storm putting his own shot on, was looking for the dunk, but unfortunately not able to catch up to it. Zulu, what a pass, but Judgmental not quite able to collect it with an accurate shot on. So we're going to find this back in the left wing corner of the Bears side. Rage gets it past one.
The dribbles!
Play the week that. Play the week that. That was a fantastic solo play.
He's gone for it like 3 times in this game, and every single time he's gotten closer and closer to the net until finally the Bears' defensives break down. Rage picking them apart one by one and giving the Bulls their third 1-0 lead.
Oh my goodness. It's like we've been saying, like, he has the solo potential, but there, Zulu answers right back for the Bears. And again, we find it tied at 1 apiece. And the Bears have been in this situation before, but they have yet to come out with a victory.
That's exactly what you need, though. You need that quick answer back. You know, that's the full reset. After that goal, you know that one of them is just saying, you know what, full reset. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But that goal cements it. It gives you a reason to go, yep, that does not matter. It's just time off the clock, and we're still sitting at 0-0. Rage looking to move out. He's actually beaten both, but a good touch by Zulu to his backboard doesn't let him catch up to it. An amazing pinch to get it all the way down to the Bulls' end. They'll try and put some pressure on it. Will the Bears? No demo coming through, and Storm looking for some dribble plays of his own, but he won't find anything. Not nearly as successful as Rage there. And Zulu is up. Does he have a second touch here? No, not really. It gives Judgmental just enough room. Good clear by Rage. It goes back to the Bears side.
Well, the one thing I'm having an issue with the Bears here is how quickly they're just giving possession right back to the Bulls. They're not doing it intentionally, but they're just so concerned about getting the ball away from their net and out of their half that they're just kind of getting rid of the ball and not really paying attention to where it's ending up. And that's what's allowing the Bears to have so many more opportunities. That looked like a ghost touch to me. That looked like that ball phased right through him.
It's pretty close. But look at Rage. What a fake pass.
My.
Almost found it. Storm flying out of left field to try and put that one home, but he couldn't find it. It goes back down the other way off the post. But the Bears offense, maybe it'll fizzle out here, and it looks like it will, as it can't find any sustained pressures. Once again, Judgmental had to go back for boost. You've been saying he's been struggling this whole game, but now he tries to find the shot. Double commit on offense, though. Tons of room for Storm, tons of boost, and another lead for the Bulls.
And this is just unfortunately what can happen sometimes. The Bears are so desperate for a goal that they're willing to just throw everything in the kitchen sink. And unfortunately, sometimes throwing everything in the kitchen sink doesn't result in a goal. And there it unfortunately resulted in a double commit, which led to a fast break goal for the Bulls. So the Bears throwing everything they could, but the Bulls ultimately coming out on top there.
Yeah, it feels like a snowball effect. The bumps and demos in the first couple of games from the Bulls forced them to start lobbing balls downfield. What a shot by Storm off the post. He almost found that one and put them back in a 3-1 position. But again, it feels like the snowball effect, you know? The bumps and demos, they force them to not go for the dribble plays. And when they're not doing that, they're booming it downfield, and then they're overcommitting on offense. It's just a vicious cycle right now for the Bulls that they're having, or for the Bears, excuse me, that they're having trouble breaking out of. It's not impossible to come back from this. Absolutely not. It's one goal, but it's extremely difficult against this Bulls defense.
They've got to find that sweet spot between control and booming the ball, you know, because there are definitely instances where all you can do in twos is just kind of slam the ball downfield. But then you also have to find where the control comes from. Judgmental
There's a
getting
chaos.
the bump onto Rage. What a beautiful play there from Judgmental to clear the way for his teammate.
Perfect control from Judgmental. In complete control of that situation, and they end up tying the game. And maybe that's the secret here. Maybe they need to start introducing that physical play style. Just match them blow for blow at this point. Not much else is working, but the bumps and demos just might. We've seen it in ML, we've seen it in CL. Every single league utilizes that physical play, and it's always effective.
If you're playing twos and your teammates are being extremely fast and extremely physical and they're winning, you have to pick up to their pace, because it's a game of momentum, especially with twos. Once a team has it, it's very hard for them to lose it. What a cut from Zulu, but Storm able to get back before Zulu can control it to get the goal.
Oh, he just couldn't find the back of the net. He was so close. Look at that shot from Judgmental off the crossbar. They're getting robbed left, right, and center now. That's 3 or 4 off the post in this game, but they press on anyways. Zulu getting the ball taken away from him by Storm. Judgmental goes up the backboard, has a bit of room to work with. Respect being given by Rage. Maybe a bit too much as he only finds the 50. 10 seconds left. It goes towards the Bulls net, and the go-ahead goal from Zulu.
See, we say go-ahead goal. 8 seconds is a long time. We definitely could see a solid kickoff goal here from the Bulls, but right now, this is looking very good from the Bears. Finally, after being 2 games down in the series, they've got a little bit of momentum, a little bit of life here. They're not going into this darkness without a fight.
Absolutely not. The kickoff was decent, but the Bears punt it back downfield, and Zulu looking to finish it off. He puts it straight up, though. A bit of a mistouch. Can Rage take advantage? No, he can't. Couldn't get the dribble up the wall, and the Bears take game 3.
So the Bears keeping the series alive here as well, as we said in the last year, in the last series that we saw. We do play all 5 games here, but winning 3 of them does give you the series win. So we can get as many games played as possible. So the Bears still have a chance to walk away with the series here and still get those 3 wins. The Bulls still sitting on those 2 are definitely going to be fighting here to not give up that 2-win advantage that they had coming into this game. But that game, Zulu really stepped up to play for the Bears.
Absolutely. He looked solid both in the air, on the ground. The bumps came out late. I really liked the physicality from the Bears late in that game. I'd say it's what gave them the game. But another thing I like is the fact that they are now limiting the shots. The first couple of games, I think Storm had 9 shots in game 1 and Rage had 7 in game 2. This time, they're both kept to under 5 for a total of 6 there. And that's a really good improvement from those first 2 games. Just managing to keep that control in your own backfield, not panicking as much, and not letting those rebounds get loose.
Even though we talked a lot about how the Bears had a lot of giving up possession in that game 3, it was not nearly as bad as it was in the first 2 games. They definitely improved on it a lot. It just took us until game 3 to bring it up. So I'd like to see that level of improvement continuing to kind of move in that direction for the Bears, where they continue to just kind of figure out the pace of like, okay, this is when we should boom it, this is when we need to control it, and all that kind of just mind gaming stuff as Rage tries to get a shot on there, but quickly turned away by Judgmental.
He's a frightening player in the air, and look at what he's done to the defense of the Bears. They're still trying to recover. Storm almost finding the back of the net. He'll go off the ceiling, but he can't find the flick. The dead zone a bit too high, and he ends up backflipping off the ceiling. The offense is still there, though. They have a chance for a 50 here, and Zulu, maybe a bit too much respect given. He gave them a lot of space there to try and push that ball back into their own zone.
And that's the one thing, like as the Bulls were playing up so much, the Bears may tend to back off just a little bit to kind of like catch them when they overcommit so that they can send it right back into a counterattack. However, if they do that too much, the Bears will I hate it when they're both B teams. When the Bulls will notice that and take advantage of it. I'm going to stop talking.
You got it. You got it eventually, but works out. Anyways, speaking of the Bulls, they're on offense right now. They almost find the back of the net. Storm having a time in the offensive zone right now. We've said it's been Rage most of the time, and it is there. Great drop pass from Storm, setting up Rage for the 1-0 advantage.
Storm sets him up. Rage slams it down. That's the story of most of this series. We've been calling Rage's name a lot, but a lot of these shots that he's been making have been set up by Storm one way or another, whether it be by passes or bumps or just various touches of the ball. So it's definitely Rage getting the points, but Storm is right there doing his job.
Absolutely, and Rage looking to keep up the offense now. Gets a bit of a bump, just enough to force the Bears player to pop a wheelie almost. Gets him off the ball for just a second, and that gives them time to clear back downfield as well. Zulu in control from his own corner. Doesn't have a lot of boost here. He's got to be careful, and he'll bring it down to the ground. A good decision there, not forcing out the 50 against Rage. Rage can't get the double tap off the sidewall. Nice backflip from Judgmental, and a booming clear from Storm, forcing out the save, and a lot of boost used once again. We've been talking about it all game. The boost from the Bears hasn't been great. Or at least their boost management hasn't been great. They found themselves in a lot of positions where they're at 0 boost. It's been costing them. Bit of a double commit coming out, but Judgmental is able to recover and boom it back downfield, and the Bears go back on offense.
Storm trying to collect this one out of the right wing corner. Gets a decent 50 with Zulu. We're going to see Rage looking to collect it. Excellent play by Rage, allowing it to pop up. Gets it past one. Look for the dunk on Judgmental, but good positioning from Judgmental preventing that. Judgmental now looking to answer back with his own dribble. Not quite able to put that one on target. Both Bulls members tied up in the corner of the net there. Zulu trying to get a little bit of a floater, but just barely off target was that one. Rage, an excellent clear over the top. Zulu getting the demo onto Storm, shuts down the play that the Bulls were trying to set up there. Judgmental looking for the hook. Not going to get that one either. So Zulu now playing this one towards the right wing side. Lots of good offense going for both of these teams, but starting to see this ping-ponging back and forth fly, and I'm not quite sure who's got the upper hand just yet.
No, it's very even. Both teams on their A game right now with their midfield play. They're getting to everything, and neither team can find any sort of control right now. Rage, cross field. Storm was an option, but will go for the pinch and send. What a pinch it is! Almost finding the back of the net, but Zulu was able to recover in time. Off the corner now for Storm. He's looking to keep up that pressure. Another pinch comes straight down. Rage is there to capitalize.
And once again, it's Storm setting it up and Rage finalizing it. Fantastic pinch here from Storm, putting it towards the ceiling, and a great job by Rage to put it just in the lower side of the net there, not even giving it a chance to go any direction other than towards the back of the net. So fantastic finish there from Rage. Half the game, 90 seconds left to play here. 2-0 advantage for the Bulls here in this game 4. They're looking to come away with the series victory here and keep as many games in their favor as they can, as the Bears are struggling to get a point on the board here. That's going to be Rage to Storm. Storm with the shot. What a play from the Bulls.
What a pass, what a shot. Storm and Rage, both with excellent contact there. Oh, that shot's gorgeous, skirting along the ground, and Zulu can't catch up to it. Just a great play all around, and that's the chemistry that we really like to see at this Master League level.
And it's on those fast breaks where you can have a chance to get those good passing plays. And speaking of fast breaks, there's one off the kickoff. That's going to be a 4-0 now lead for the Bulls.
They're shaking up on the Bears side at this point. You got to write this one home, honestly. That kickoff not going your way, you can say, you know, we got to reset now, but you're kind of just resetting for the next game. Hope that you find a goal, get some momentum back in your favor. Storm looking to prevent exactly that with that air dribble, but he isn't able to find much of anything.
And what's interesting for me specifically about this particular matchup as we continue to watch it, I was actually on both of these teams last season in their ACAD, so I don't even have a horse in this race. It's just awesome to see both of these teams just battling it out here, but with the last 45 seconds, it is looking solidly in favor of the Bulls unless the Bears are able to pull off a miracle here. Storm turning that one away. Taken down to the last 30 seconds here. Zulu going up towards the wall off the backboard. Nice, looking down for Judgmental. Rage turning that away early. And it's going to go out to Storm. That's another passing play for the Bulls.
Awareness and positioning. Storm goes up for that, but immediately he is boosting upfield. He realizes that his team has possession, and he is in great position for that pass. And once again, that upfield play, those fast breaks, creating them on your own that time. There wasn't even really a mistake from the Bears. The Bulls, they just created their own opportunities, and that is great to see.
We're going to see Judgmental dropping this one down. Storm's going to collect it. Not much boost to his name, so looking to get a pinch. Almost actually had the pinch there, but was turned away early. I believe that was Judgmental. Being a Judgmental. Oh, that's going to be a double miss from the Bears. That's so unfortunate. Storm almost putting that one off the sidebar, but Rage saving him there. So unfortunate misplay from the Bears results in the 6th goal of the game for the Bulls.
It's a wipe right now. The Bulls, they look incredible. 10 out of 10 performance in this game, absolutely. And, you know, the Bears, they've had some mistouches. You know, 2 of the goals have been solely because of those mistouches. But I'd say they're not making a whole lot of mistakes. It's just the pressure that's being put onto them by the Bulls is unyielding at this point. Not much you can do to counter it. Yeah.
It's the speed. It's just the speed. The Bulls are just being faster on the challenges, and they're not giving the Bears the chance to breathe. They're also not making as many mistakes when it comes to throwing away possession. It does seem like whenever the Bulls have possession, they're making it count, or at least making an active effort to put it on goal. Whereas it does seem like the Bears are still kind of in that panic mode a little bit, where they're just trying to get it away from where they are. Don't give the Bulls a chance, but while not giving the Bulls a chance, they're also not really giving themselves one. So that is going to be a 3-1 series advantage for the Bulls. Bulls going to take the series, but we still have game 5 to play. The Bears still have a chance to finish this out with 2 wins in the series, which, as we keep saying, given the way the playoff structure works, taking every win into account, every single win matters.
Especially for the Bears at this point. They're sitting, I think coming into this, they were 8-7, so they have to keep that 500 at this point. They got to go even through 4 weeks so that you can start pushing up the table as the Bulls are so effectively doing right now. If they can find this game, then at least they can come out of it and say, you know what? We still have a chance at playoffs at this point. We're still at the mid-table. You know, we can push up in the next few weeks or so, try and get these wins, but it's going to be rough against Storm and Rage because that game really showed the confidence and the chemistry that those two have.
Well, this game in particular is going to show exactly what the Bears are capable of if they're able to put that loss out of their minds and just really focus on taking everything one game at a time. Because if they still understand, you know, like with the playoff structure and everything, that every game matters, they're going to play just as hard in this game as they have. Zulu looking for the fake reset there, but unfortunately Storm just seeing it the entire way and turning it away. Rage putting that shot towards the net. Not quite on target. Look for a follow-up there. Zulu was 0. Judgmental putting it away. Zulu. Oh, he's going to miss that shot. It looked like he was going to try and get the angle, but not able to get it.
Just so close for the Bears once more, but they couldn't find it. And Rage just putting it in park and winning that 50. It goes back into the Bulls' end eventually, though. Judgmental trying to look over to Zulu, but he couldn't find the passing plate nor a shot. Both of the Bears have to back off now. Rage has a ton of space. This is the last thing you want to see if you're a Bears player or a Bears fan. The musty flick almost connecting, but Judgmental gave him room to operate, and it ended up benefiting them, but not for long. Storm puts it home.
And again, it's just that crushing offensive pressure from the Bulls. They're just able to keep those rotations clean and tight. They're always putting pressure on you. And as soon as there's a break in that defense, they're going to take advantage of it and just drive that ball home. And that's exactly what they did there with Storm, giving them the 1-0 lead with just over a minute gone here in this game 5. Now Rage was looking for a 50 there. Ended up working out for him, because if that ends up actually going on target, then it's a good 50 for Rage. But because Judgmental kind of rushed it and pushed it wide, even though Rage didn't get the 50, it still ended up going nowhere near the net.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation for the Bears, absolutely, at this point. You got to think it's a 1-goal lead. They can definitely come back for this, especially with that touch from Judgmental, opening up a lot of space now. 1v1 winner! Judgmental ties it up.
And sometimes it's just those little one-jump carries. That's all you need. Just a little boop, right up over the top of the defender, slotted it right underneath the goalpost. Don't got to do anything too crazy, just nice and simple. And Judgmental able to tie it up again. It feels like the Bears are constantly tying it up at 1, but just not able to finish it out.
Yeah, and the Bulls, I have to mention, they've taken the early lead in every game now. All 5 they've scored the opener. That's putting a lot of pressure on the Bears to try and come back. They've done it once. They're still going to have to find it this time. 3 minutes left to go in this game 5. Zulu looking to take the lead again, but he can't find it. Double commit comes out. Can he get around it? He wheel touches it. It's on the goal line. Zulu and Rage. What a 50 from Rage.
Fantastic 50 from Rage, and fantastic composure from both Bulls players there to not just panic and both just whiff and leave the net open. So even though they double committed, they still were able to compose themselves and take the shot. And that right there is the biggest difference between these two teams right now, as Zulu finally slots one in just to the right of Storm.
Oh, he found the back of the net eventually. A fortunate bounce there, but an excellent touch, getting tons of power on that by turning upside down and still being able to direct it towards that top corner. Now with the lead, the Bears, one of the first times this series, I can't recall, I think it's the first or the second time they've had the lead in the series. They got to try and find a way to keep it, because you know that Rage and Storm are going to be bringing the pressure.
It is the second time they've had the lead, and the last time they had the lead, they won the game. So they definitely have a chance here, but it's really coming down to there was a point I was going to make before that last goal was scored, but thoughts losing me. It's coming down to the pressure, right? The pressure and the rotations, they're just a lot tighter and a lot faster from the Bulls than they are from the Bears right now.
Absolutely. Storm looking for the pass to midfield, a great attempt at least, but Rage wisely backing off, giving the Bears some space to operate so he can get his dribble plays going. What a recovery off of the bump, and he almost found the back of the net, but a good save by the Bears. They're able to clear it out to midfield as well, and Rage again having to back off, giving himself some space to operate though. He's doing a great job of this, of just waiting for the Bears to almost exhaust themselves on offense before swooping in and taking these solo plays. Storm off the backboard. It's sitting on the goal line, but again, Rage decides to bide his time, not committing fully, not letting the Bears get the third.
I remember what my point was, and it's taking advantage of mistakes. The Bulls are taking advantage of every single small mistake that the Bears are making. Every last one. The Bulls have had some pretty egregious mistakes all series, especially that double commit in the corner that we saw about 60 seconds ago. And the Bears just aren't capitalizing on it. That's one of the biggest things. They're giving them so much space that when these mistakes happen, they don't have enough time to react to it. Whereas the Bulls are right there, jaws clamping down as soon as a mistake is made by the Bears. Speaking of the Bears, almost centering it in front of their own net, but the Bulls not able to get another one. 30 seconds left, fly for the Bulls to try and make some magic happen and take us to overtime.
Storm looking for the dunk, can't find it. Judgmental pushes it back downfield. Zulu is there. He'll slow play it. Maybe not the right play, but a great touch by Judgmental moving it out. But what a dunk from Rage off the post, sitting free. What a save from Zulu, saving the game and this final point for the Bears. They're going to try and push back on offense now. 10 seconds left. What can Rage do from the corner? Not a whole lot yet. He has the boost to make something happen. Can't get over Judgmental. It'll be one more solo play for Rage. He goes up. Zulu's there to meet him. The team bump comes out, and it will land. The Bears find their second, and we have an extremely close series to end it.
Yeah, so the Bears do end up coming away with that 5th game win and with the 2nd game of the series for them. So again, even though the Bulls technically get the series win, the Bears still get a little bit of like a subline victory here by getting 2 wins. They get those wins for playoff contention. So that is exactly what the Bears needed to do to overcome, to show that they had what it takes to overcome playing from behind like that.
Absolutely. I love the play from both of these teams. They're looking on the up and up. We said coming in that they were both having a bit of middling seasons, but now they both look set and ready to go for the rest of the season. But that will do it from us here on the desk. Thank you very much for coming out and watching. We have one more series left to go today, an AL2's matchup between the Hurricanes and Knights. That'll be coming at you in about 15 minutes here. We'll see you then.